Awareness, Health and Environmental Alternatives, starring internationally acclaimed investigative reporter, compelled to help change people's lives. Two-time winner Crystal Awards, the man who tells it like it is, Basil Gold.
Okay, folks, now we are going to bring to you a discovery of health secrets. The man who discovered health secrets from all over the world, famous author, a radio personality, and also the founder for the Center of Chronic Diseases. Now, this chronic diseases means you're going to die unless you get help. And this man has written some incredible books, which I'm going to tell you about. Okay, so I've just finished reading the second of two incredible books. I want to tell you that if you have any problems at home, allergies, illnesses, toxic things in your home that you don't know if they're toxic or not toxic, these are the books to read. This is by Dr. William Kellis, who we're going to be talking to right now. Surviving the Toxic Crisis. And this is the one I like a lot. This one really explains everything. Thriving in a Toxic World. Now this book, it gets into personal care, like colognes, detoxification, chemical toxicity, colognes, how dangerous they are to your body, your symptoms. It gives you your symptoms and how you can analyze them from the book. So you can be a home doctor if you read these two books. I recommend them strongly. Great books, Surviving the Toxic Crisis. Dr. Kellis, my absolute pleasure to have you here today.
Well, my pleasure to be here. We at the Center for Advanced Medicine really appreciate the fact that you have a show like this where you honestly tell people what's going on in health in the world.
People don't know. People really think that they're labeled for death. I've got diabetes, that's it, I'm a history. I've got cancer, I'm a history. It's not true.
You know, when I was young, I always had structural problems and growing problems. But as I hit my 20s, I had a disease called ankylosing spondylitis, which means your neck and your head gets head pressure, tightness in the neck, tightness in the low back, all kinds of problems, health, gas, bloat, constipation, diarrhea, and tight muscles, and that chronic fatigue that everybody's talking about. I was one of the first people to have that type of thing. And then in my 30s, they gave me a positive screen on cancer and how it can...
What caused you to get
well,
that?
You see, that's the thing. I wasn't breastfed. I had a lot of mercury fillings, and I had nickel caps, which can cause all kinds of allergies as well as cancer. I had amoebic dysentery that I got in Spain, and I had a gluten and dairy intolerances both.
Oh my goodness.
A whiplash from a car accident and allergies. And you know, when you put all that together, it finally adds up to make you sick. And it took me from 6'4", 235 pounds down 50 pounds and crippled over and unable to do anything.
So then at that point in your life, you took the medications into your own hands. You decided to cure yourself, and then you wanted to cure others, and then how did that all come about?
Well, you know, I'd love to say I was that good at it. You know, I was pre-med physics back in those days, and they told me to take up anti-inflammatory, and I took the anti-inflammatories till they ate a hole in my stomach and caused a bleeding ulcer, and I discovered that we had to go another way. So I either had to live with the pain or have an ulcer, until I started saying, when they told me I was going to be in a wheelchair the rest of my life, I made a decision that I was going to stop whatever I was doing and search the entire world until I found things that would make a difference in our life.
Can you tell me, how did you come about these?
Well, we've had success with things like multiple sclerosis, arthritis, any of the itises, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, some of the migraine headaches, things like weight loss, people with low energy, all that sleeping problems. And the biggest thing, you know, that I find, Basil, is they clear the brain fog. And the way we do it is we have a 7-step program, which I'll abbreviate 4 of them. First one is you get rid of the toxic overload, and whether that's heavy metals in your mouth or chemicals or whiplash or whatever is loading your system down.
Clogged colons?
Well, that's the next part.
Oh,
you get rid of the microorganisms that are living off the undigested food. And the part after that is you feed the body the nutrients that it needs so it doesn't look like it's sick to microorganisms, because those microorganisms are clean up.
These parasites.
Yeah, parasites.
This comes in the second part of what you...
Sure. Parasites are one part of it. The word parasite says they take our food and leave us their waste. Now, what's that mean? That means amoeba, that means worms, that means bacteria, that means viruses, that means what's called a mycoplasma, which is a cross between a bacteria and a virus, and fungus, that's yeast infections, things like Candida albicans. All those come in when you look sick. When you have food that's undigested, they come in to digest those foods, and then they throw the waste off, and then you get sicker from that. They only make you sicker quicker, because here's my question.
Can you tell me how we get rid of that and how we replenish the system again?
Well, I want to make one thing clear, because the way we look at disease today is that maggots and buzzards make you sick. Maggots and buzzards don't make you sick. They come in after you get sick. So you have to look like you're healthy. And the way we replenish it, as you said, is first we get rid of the parasites. Where did we discover supernutrients? We saw the mothers in India go and take rice bran. And they took that rice bran and they fed it to their kids when they got sick, and the kids got healthy. But anybody who knows anything about rice...
Thousands of years they've been using this for
thousands of years.
Total cures of their problems.
And it clears all kinds of problems they have there. But you know what? We didn't even know anything about it. You know why? Because within 3 hours, that rice bran goes to rancid because the enzymes eat it away and it becomes food for the microorganisms. So what they had to do is they had to neuter or take away the lipase enzyme that was what caused it to degrade. And when they did that, they stabilized this rice bran, and it is unbelievably nutritious. How nutritious? We found things, antioxidants, they're up to 1,000 times more powerful than alpha tocopherol, vitamin E.
I heard it was 100 times better than pignogenol, grapeseed extract, which has hit this nation by storm.
Well, pignogenol...
So ricetrine, this kernel from the rice, is even better as an antioxidant than grapeseed extract
and the importance of that is not that we have the most powerful whammy, because if you put them all together, it's up to 6,000 times as a group. It plays like a symphony, whereas a pignogenol or a vitamin C only goes through in 6 to 8 hours because they're water soluble. You need 24-hour-a-day, 7-day protection, and that's the 24-hour-7 that you only get from your fat-soluble vitamins, which are vitamin E and vitamin A, essentially. Now, vitamin E stops all the damage that can happen to your arteries by a thing called free radical scavenger. That means if something's going to damage your arteries, it grabs it and pulls it out of the way and protects you. If it's going to damage your cell, and a damaged cell mutates and becomes a bunch of damaged cells, it stops that. Along with that, inside the same rice bran, you get B vitamins. Not just the normal B vitamins, although you get all those.
The whole complex.
The whole complex. And you get pangamic acid, which the Russians used to use as their athletic secret to make them win races. And so you get extra performance. And probably the greatest thing is you get the nutrients that make nutrients work. You get the glyconutrients, all the essential sugars, natural sugars that don't feed fungus. In fact, with the oils, it actually is an antifungal, which keeps fungus under control and keeps the microbes under control while it's feeding the body at the cellular level what it needs, because it's totally absorbable.
So you would attribute your success to this rice bran?
It's a good...
I mean, all the other clinics are failing. They have cancer and heart. People are spending thousands of dollars, and 6 months later they're sick again.
Well, a huge portion of what we do has to do with this rice bran and the oils. In fact, if I was going to pick, it's got a couple other things. It's got the lipotropics, which turn fat into energy. And Lord knows we're becoming a fat nation that's tired. So if we turn the fat back into energy, people can have their energy back. And the other thing it has is it has your essential amino acids, so it builds the body. So it's there as a whole food, but it's not complete yet. What you need is the other part that we learned from the people who do the Ironman in Hawaii, the triathloners. And what they do is they used to have better stamina and better recovery times than anybody else. And we said, now why is that? Well, they went and they pulled a special form of sea salt pulled out of 2,000 feet below the water. And so we went and pulled that out, desalinized it, completely cleaned it out, dried it out, and used it at our center to heal people. And what it did was it gave energy. When people were tired, they'd get energy. And it was incredible. All of us doctors used to stand around, take a little bit under our tongue at about 2 o'clock, you know, when people start getting tired, and everybody's energy came back. And I said, the mid-afternoon fatigue is gone, folks. We have solved the mid-afternoon fatigue right here with that. And so what we got was bioavailable, because this was the way these minerals were picked, where the plankton went and took the minerals required for life, and as they fell down below 600 feet, which is the zone of regeneration where life lives, they die off, so they're synergistically set up with the nutrients. This water, 2,000 feet below the sea, most of the time hasn't seen the surface since Jesus Christ was around. So it's pure, pristine water.
Totally bioavailable to the body, and it's in ionic form.
In ionic form, ready to go. So you absorb your nutrients, and then it's also balanced. It's got calcium and magnesium in a balance that the body has. It's got potassium and sodium in a balance the body has. If you get too much of a good thing, it can become a bad thing because it suppresses the other minerals.
Right.
And this is balanced. Not only balanced that way, but pH balanced. It's almost 7.2 pH.
Wow,
which
this was balanced by God, not by man.
By God. You know, you see, we can engineer foods. I used to design all kinds of great supplements, and it was wonderful. But when I saw something that was balanced and natural, I said, that's the way to go. Now we've got our minerals and our trace minerals, and it's also non-toxic, as you saw, without the heavy metals. And you want to know the biggest thing? We put it in capsules, and we use it in the center, and it's convenient.
What amazes me is that you have had success with, and I don't even know if I should be saying this, but you've had cancer patients, you've had heart patients, you've had diabetes, you've handled them all. You've had successes with these, haven't you?
We've had success. We've been, multiple sclerosis we're having great success with, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, arthritis, any of the itises, any of the chronic conditions. If you've had it for over 120 days, your body may be suffering from nutritional deficiencies.
Okay, so there you have it, folks. This, and you have, Dr. Kellis has a clinic down in San Diego. If you're really dying, you go there. But before you die, you can call me. I'll tell you how to get everything that will put you in the right way. Everything that you need. So, take care of yourself. Take